Howdy, PT37 here. Today I want to talk to you about Kimber's Fatal Flaw. Kimbers are nice guns. I have no problems with them as far as manufacturing goes, as far as quality control goes, as far as accuracy goes, even reliability. I've had great reliability out of this handgun. It's a 4-inch Kimber Pro Carry 2. Great handgun. But something I was unaware of until a little while back, and that a lot of people are unaware of, is that they do have a fatal flaw compared to a true Series 70 gun. Now, Series 70s, they have a fatal flaw too. They aren't drop safe. So if they get dropped on their muzzle like that, they go kapow. So if you want to see some evidence of that, you'll watch a Grand Thumbs video about him dropping handguns, see if they're drop safe. But this ain't about them. So what I'm talking about is the Kimbers have a modified Series 80. So what is that? So a Series 70 is like this gun. So a Series 70 does not have a trigger block. So let me take these apart and I'll show you what I mean. I got them both apart so you can look at them. So this is considered more of a Series 80. So what it is, let me get a little pointer. So right here is a little firing pin block. So what happens on Series 80 guns is there's a little trigger bar, and whenever you pull the trigger, it either slides back or comes up and depresses that and makes it where the firing pin has free access to the round. So Kimbers are different. So even though this is similar, it's not a true Series 80. So what happens on Kimbers is instead of the trigger depressing this, the grip safety does. So when you depress the grip safety, it depresses that, and then the firing pin can freely access the round. So they put this in there because on like trigger operated guns, if the trigger isn't all the way to the rear, there's no way the gun can go off. Glocks incorporate this, Smith & Wessons incorporate this on their polymer guns. Most polymer guns do this. 1911s, this is not the original design. So Kimbers, they do the grip safety, because if they do the grip safety, then the trigger is uninterrupted. So a lot of Series 80 guns, people rag on the triggers because they're a little bit heavier, or they got a little something wonky with them because they're releasing the sear and pushing this button instead of just releasing the sear. So as you can tell on this Springfield, it doesn't have that. So now that makes this not necessarily drop safe. If it drops on its muzzle, there's a good chance it's going to go off. But the trigger is much better. Well, I really don't think. I've messed with some Series 80 guns, and they're not as bad as people act like they are. But the trigger, in theory, is much better on Series 70 guns, and it's just one less thing to worry about. Personally, I like Series 70. I don't see an issue with it. I mean, they're drop safe for the most part, unless they're dropped directly on their muzzle. So I don't know, it's just kind of a whatever you feel more comfortable with kind of thing. Alright, so the Kimber, I said it's grip safety activated. This is the disconnect, and this little hole is the trigger, or the firing pin block deactivator. So I don't know what its official name is, but whenever you depress the grip safety, that little dude pops up. So I don't know how well that's coming across on the camera. Yeah, you can see that dude pop up. So when you depress the grip safety, you're ready to fire. It depresses that plunger, makes it where the gun can go off. So as you can see, the Springfield, it didn't have the thing on the slide, and it does not have that here on the frame either. So now I'll put these back together and do another demonstration. I will show you guys one little tip I wish I would have learned earlier. I got this gun used, so it does have an idiot mark on it. So what an idiot mark is this little thing. So it's from taking out the little slide stop to disassemble it, and you're scratching the frame when you're putting it back in. So I get a little piece of paper. I just had this little wolf spring piece of paper laying here. So what I do is I start this, and then I get it most of the way ready. I slide this little card under it, and then you can just gently push it into place. So this took the little bit of the brunt instead of my frame. So now I got a lot less chance of making an idiot mark on my nice pretty gun. Got them back together, and I adjusted my camera a little bit so you can see better. Okay, so this firearm is unloaded. There's nothing in the magazine, nothing in the chamber. Okay, so it is unloaded. So I want to take just a regular pencil, just take it down the barrel, and then what I want to do is I want to press the grip safety. I'm going to pull the trigger just ever so slightly and let off the grip safety. So what this does is it activates grip safety. So if I let off the trigger, see, it depressed or it came back open. So I'm going to press it just enough to release the trigger, because if I don't press it, then I obviously can't press the trigger. So I'm going to press it just enough to pull the trigger. Now we'll let go of it. Okay, now we want to fire it. So shot the pencil out of it. You can see it. I'll do it again. I was not holding the grip safety. Now see, I'm pulling the trigger, it's not going off, so I'm just going to depress it just enough. So now it's held in place by me pulling the trigger. I'm not even close to it. I want to pull the trigger. Okay. So now I'll show you what the problem is with the Kimbers. So it's unloaded, nothing in the magazine, nothing in the chamber. Okay, so gun is functioning fine. Alright, so I will do one time depressing the grip safety. Depressing the grip safety, pulling the trigger. Oh, shot the pencil out. See? So you can tell it's functioning properly. So now I'm going to do it again, but I'm going to do the same thing I did with the Springfield. So I'm going to depress the grip safety just enough to release the trigger. Okay, so now it's depressed. Now I'll allow the trigger to show you. Well, okay. So see? Okay, so it's held in place. So now I'm going to pull the trigger. See, it didn't shoot it out. I'll do that again. My fingers are nowhere near the grip safety. See? It's not just the hammer falling is making the pencil tremble, but it's not going off. Okay, now I'll depress the grip safety like you're supposed to, all the way. Shot my pencil plumb out of there. So what does this mean? So it means that on a Kimber, you can depress the grip safety enough to deactivate the trigger, to activate the trigger, I should say. So like I can't press it. Now I just barely press it. Okay, now I can push the trigger right there. But what happens is if I pull the trigger right then, that mechanism isn't disabled. So even though the trigger will drop, the firing pin block is not disabled. So that means the hammer will drop, the trigger will act as normal, but the round won't go off. So does this mean Kimbers are bad? No, Kimbers are not bad guns. They're good guns, and you can find them for really good deals sometimes, and they're great. The slide to frame fit is fantastic. This one's just ever so slightly wiggly now. It wasn't when I got it, but it's because I've shot 600-700 rounds through it at this point, so it's kind of broke in a little bit. And they're very accurate. I haven't shot this one for accuracy, but the first full-size one I had, man, I was getting 1.25 1.5 inch groups at 25 yards off a rest, which is exceptional. I mean, that's what Wilson Combat advertises their guns at, somewhere around that accuracy standard. So the fact that you can get that in an $800-ish gun is pretty good. Now, the problem with this is, should you rely on them for self-defense? Well, you got to answer that question for yourself. So me personally, I had a full-size 5-inch at the time. It was really similar to this gun, except it did not have the target sights on it. And I got that. It was just a stainless tube. It looked gorgeous. And I told myself I was going to try to get a little bit more familiar with the 1911 and maybe start carrying it around a little bit and just get to know the platform a little bit better as far as the self-defense stance goes. Just because I like it and appreciate it, and I'm a big gun guy. But when I figured that out, I'm like, I don't think I really want that. I don't want to have to worry about me getting in an awkward shooting position and not getting that safety depressed enough to disable the firearm or the firing pin block. So I would personally rather go with the Series 80 Colt or Series 80 other 1911 that is deactivated by the trigger bar. So if you want that kind of trigger safety, I would recommend the trigger activated one. I know Colt makes Series 80 guns like that. I'm not sure if anybody else does. So another note, this isn't just a rag on Kimber. Smith & Wessons do the exact same thing. So Smith & Wesson 1911s, by and large, are all that same. They call it a Schwartz safety. So they don't call it a Series 80, even though it technically is. It's called a Schwartz safety, and it just stands for the grip safety is what deactivates the firing pin block. So me personally, I like the more Series 70 design, and just plan on sticking with that. I'd be okay with the Series 80 Colt, but Kimbers are nice. If you find a good deal on one, don't hesitate on it. As far as shooters go, I don't think there's anything wrong with them. But and there are ways to disable that. I've looked into it a little bit. I don't think I'm going to mess with it just because I don't want to mess with the gun. But in that regard, I'm going to keep this, and my wife got me this as a gift years ago. So it's a special gun to me, and I put these grips on it. This fitted this Wilson Combat safety to it. And I just really like it. It's a fun gun to go shoot, and I have carried it on occasion, just because it's pretty and stuff, and I like it. And let's be honest, carrying guns is mostly a second kind of cool thing, as nothing fancy says. So I hope that helped educate you on the safety system of the Kimber and Smith & Wessons and similar guns that use that safety system. And I just hope that this can help you to make more educated decisions moving forward with personal protection guns. So if you like this video, please like, comment, subscribe, and thanks for watching.